The clock on the wall read 2:15 in the afternoon. Maris Ellington stood at the edge of the main performance pool, the Florida sun beating down on shimmering blue water. Below her, Triton, a 12,000-pound orca, glided silently, a shadow in his man-made world. Maris felt that familiar mix of excitement and calm. This was her office, her life. She took a deep breath, the salty, chlorinated air filling her lungs. The distant hum of the park faded as she focused on Triton. Today, he seemed a little off, his responses slower, his eyes distant. She trusted their bond, built over 6 years, believing in their silent understanding. The show, Dine with Triton, was an intimate session for a handful of guests. Maris loved these moments, less spectacle, more education. She wanted people to see the orca's gentle, curious nature. Smiling at the crowd, she began her narration, her voice steady. Triton performed simple behaviors, a wave, a vocalization, a spy hop. The audience was mesmerized by their harmony. She rewarded him with fish and affectionate rubs. To onlookers, it was magic, a glimpse into a special relationship. For Maris, it was a delicate dance, practiced until it felt as natural as breathing, but the water held secrets. The dance was about to change. The surface was calm, but something deeper stirred. The storm was coming. Maris Ellington was more than a trainer. She was a true believer. Growing up in landlocked Ohio, she dreamed of the ocean. Her walls covered in posters of whales and dolphins. The orca fascinated her most. Intelligent, powerful, mysterious. She studied marine biology, volunteered at rescue centers, learned to scuba dive. Her passion was relentless. Landing an apprenticeship at Ocean World felt like destiny. She started at the bottom, cleaning tanks, preparing fish, watching senior trainers with laser focus. Over the years, Maris became one of the park's most respected trainers, known for her calm and patience. Her bond with Triton was legendary. She'd been with him since he was a young calf. She celebrated his milestones, soothed his stress, and truly loved him. Maris often stayed late, sitting by the pool, building trust outside the demands of performance. She believed in safety, in protocols, in the power of love and respect. She had never had a serious incident. Her confidence was quiet, rooted in experience. But beliefs are tested in ways we never expect, and hers would be, tragically, put to the ultimate test. Ocean World buzzed with summer energy. Families, laughter, the scent of popcorn. The Dine with Triton show was a highlight, guests feeling privileged to sit so close. Maris appeared in control, Triton obedient and calm. But beneath the surface, tensions simmered. Trainers had noticed changes in Triton, minor altercations, reluctance to perform. These weren't red flags, just signs of stress, common in captivity. Maris discussed it with her supervisor, adjusted routines, added enrichment. She saw his reluctance as communication, not aggression. Her confidence came from years of trust. That day, the water felt heavier, the silences longer. Maris pushed aside her unease, blaming the heat or fatigue. The audience saw only the spectacle, a woman and a whale in perfect sync. They missed the subtle shifts, Triton's posture, his low vocalizations. The magic on display hid a complex reality. The show continued, but something fundamental had shifted. The weight of water pressed down, unseen. The audience applauded, unaware of the storm brewing below. The moment of truth was near. The show neared its end. Maris led Triton through the final sequence, a gentle, crowd-pleasing routine. She lay on a shallow ledge, signaling Triton to approach. He was supposed to nudge her, then splash her playfully. Instead, he grabbed her arm in his mouth. The grip was immense, not aggressive at first, but wrong. Maris tried to stay calm, signaling for release. Triton ignored her, his grip tightening. Fear surged. This was not the animal she knew. He pulled her into the pool, the world blurring into blue and black. Triton dragged her deeper, then let her surface briefly, only to pull her down again. Rescue efforts began instantly. Trainers slapped the water, threw fish, dropped nets. Triton ignored them, focused only on Maris. She fought to stay conscious, gasping for air in fleeting moments at the surface. The audience's cheers had turned to screams. Her colleagues watched in horror, powerless. Triton's movements were deliberate, not frenzied. Maris's strength faded as she was pulled under again and again. The rescue team's desperation grew. The pool became a stage for tragedy. Maris's last sight was her supervisor's anguished face, then silence, crushing, blue, final. The show was over. The bond was broken. The cost of trust was revealed. The water, once a place of connection, became a place of loss. The audience would never forget what they witnessed, neither would the trainers. In seconds, joy turned to horror. The audience gasped, parents shielding children's eyes. Some froze, unable to look away as Maris was dragged under. The playful giant had become a monster in an instant. Park staff responded, alarms blaring, employees rushing to clear the area. Trainers shouted commands, faces pale with fear. They slapped the water, called Triton's name, but nothing worked. Helplessness overwhelmed them. One young apprentice broke down, comforted by a veteran trainer. They kept trying, refusing to give up. The struggle in the pool felt endless. Maris's world shrank to desperate moments of air and darkness. Her body weakened, the cold seeping in. The last thing she saw was her supervisor's face. Then Triton pulled her down one final time. The pool fell silent. The spectacle was shattered. The cost of captivity was laid bare. The tragedy was complete. It took nearly 30 minutes to isolate Triton in a medical pool. Only then could trainers reach Maris. Paramedics rushed to her side, but it was too late. Maris Ellington was pronounced dead at the scene, drowning and blunt force trauma. Ocean World fell silent, the park closed, music and fountains stilled. Investigators arrived, cordoning off the exhibit, interviewing shocked staff and witnesses. Trainers, still in wetsuits, replayed the tragedy in their minds. Triton swam in tight circles, calm but alone. The question haunted everyone. Why did he turn? Was it play, aggression, or something deeper? The park launched an internal investigation. The trainers' trust was shattered. The wound in their community would take a long time to heal. News of Maris's death spread quickly, becoming a national story. Clips of her with Triton played alongside grim headlines. For many, it confirmed fears about killer whales. The park issued statements promising a full review. Animal rights groups reignited the debate over orca captivity, holding vigils for both Maris and Triton. The industry faced intense scrutiny. Waterwork with orcas now seemed indefensible. For Maris's family, the public debate was a painful ordeal. They remembered her as a vibrant woman living her dream, not a victim. They insisted she wouldn't want the animals blamed. She accepted the risks out of passion. Her family's grace added another layer of heartbreak to the story. How could this have been prevented? The question haunted everyone. Triton's warning signs, missed or misread, were now painfully clear. The trainers' confidence may have blinded them to the risks. The investigation found no single cause, no mistake by Maris. The focus shifted to systemic problems, captivity itself. Orcas in the wild swim 100 miles a day. In tanks, their world is tiny. The stress and boredom build up, creating a pressure cooker. Triton's life, born in captivity, separated from his mother, shuffled between parks, became a symbol of the problem. Experts argued his actions were a tragic expression of his circumstances, not malice. Maris's death forced a reckoning. Can we truly care for these animals in captivity? The love of trainers clashed with the ethics of confinement. Her death became a symbol of this conflict. We love orcas, but perhaps true respect means leaving them wild. The tragedy demanded change. Maris Ellington's legacy is complex. She should be remembered for her passion and dedication. But her death must be a catalyst for change. Orcas do not belong in concrete tanks. Their needs cannot be met in captivity. Maris's death and others before her are symptoms of this core problem. To honor her, we must end captive breeding and support seaside sanctuaries. These ocean coves offer dignity and autonomy for captive orcas. It's a path forward, respecting both animals and trainers. Maris wanted to build understanding between humans and orcas. The greatest tribute is to complete that bridge, built on respect, not domination. Our wonder should not come at the cost of an animal's freedom. We must learn to admire them from a distance in their world. By listening to the deep, we can honor her life and prevent future tragedy.